Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about We Live in Time. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. So, let's talk about our two leads here, Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. So, Andrew Garfield, the Spider Man that got screwed over. I mean, look, it's not his fault that Amazing Spider-Man didn't work out, but that's unfortunately kind of his legacy. But anywho, so Andrew Garfield. His first main movie here is obviously Social Network. Fantastic movie. Dude had a fantastic performance. How he didn't get nominated for an Oscar, I don't know. He got robbed, but yeah. Social Network, absolute banger. And that leads to the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Okay. The first is Amazing Spider-Man. This is after Spider-Man 3. This was back when people hated Spider-Man 3. This is before it became the meme iconic masterpiece that it is today. So yeah, people were just like, oh, we want a Spider-Man that's better than Tobey Spider-Man. So they got this. And I mean, financially did good. Granted, it was the worst performing live action Spider-Man movie up to that point. But for a reboot, this is fine. As long as the sequel does better. As long as it goes up. It did not go up. It went down, in fact, with Amazing Spider-Man 2. As you can see here, there's a bit of a drop-off domestically and worldwide. So, yeah. And this pretty much killed the Amazing Spider-Man series. Amazing Spider-Man 3, 4, Sinister 6, dead. Gone. Poof. All because of Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because that movie was shit. It was terrible. They tried to do too much. Too many villains. Too much. Just a lot of just nonsense going on with that movie. Lots of teases for stuff that would never happen at all, so it was all just worthless. Not to mention like Rhino, how they showed him like in the trailers and posters. You think he played a major role. The dude was in like 2 scenes the whole movie. It was just that whole movie was bad. It was a stain on Spider-Man's legacy, especially on the big screen. So after Amazing Spider-Man 2, I mean, you got Hacksaw Ridge, which was a nice little hit. A really nice hit, as you can see here. But after that, not a whole lot besides, No Way Home, where Andrew, the poor man, he tried so hard to keep his involvement in that movie a secret, even though we all knew it was pointless because we knew him and Tobey, we knew they were going to be in the movie. It was an open secret, pretty much. But man, the man tried his hardest, and I respect that, even if it was all for naught. But yeah, No Way Home, made like 1.9 billion dollars. I still remember to this day. It's been almost 3 years, and I still remember when Andrew popped up in the movie when his Spider-Man showed up and he unmasked. My theater went crazy. They lost their minds. Then they lost their minds again when Tobey showed up. So that was a really cool moment. But wait, whoa, hold the phone. 41. Is this man 40? No, 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 that can't be right. This has to be an error. I refuse to believe this man is in his 40s. He does not look like a 40-year-old. What in the blue hell? Bruh. He is that is crazy. That is crazy. I refuse to believe that. That is mental. This man is 41 years old. I could never see it. I just can't see it. But yes, that's Andrew Garfield. Let's talk about Florence Pugh now. So Florence Pugh, she's been in quite a few movies recently, last couple of years. Certainly been making a name for herself. If this thing would load, stupid website. Didn't help I'm doing this like so late at night. That's probably not helping anything, but come on. Cooperate with me, please. Thank you, God. So yeah, Florence Pugh. She's been in quite a few movies the last few years. My first experience with her was Midsommar, where she was like the main character in that. That whole movie was strange. Like, I still believe the moral of the story is just don't go to Sweden. That's, that's the moral of the story. Like, I pick up from it. But yeah, in Midsommar, I guess just Fighting with My Family too, where she portrayed Paige, aka Soraya. So I guess there's that too. But I argue Midsommar was the first time people really noticed her. And then you got Little Women, but that was an ensemble movie, but it still did really well. And then Black Widow, where she was Yelena, Black Widow's sister. That movie didn't do that well, partially because of the Disney Plus Premier Access thing, where it was on Disney Plus and in theaters at the same time. But if you want to watch it on Disney Plus, you had to pay $30 for just to watch it, which I still think is egregious. But yeah, that definitely cut into its box office, no doubt about that. Not to mention just the timing overall. This was like the box office was just starting to recover, and it was still in like the early recovery phase. So movie going really wasn't at a high point at that time. But what else? But after that, yeah, Don't Worry, Darling, which technically was a hit, but no one really liked, and it's mainly known for controversy and a weird like stuff like that more than anything else. Not gonna talk about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish because that's a voiceover role. Oh, Oppenheimer. She was the woman Oppenheimer had an affair with, and like they sat in chairs naked. It was really weird. But so yeah, there's that. Bob's Oppenheimer, that's ensemble. Big old ensemble movie. Born to Heron, I don't need to talk about that. It's the voiceover role. Doom Part 2, also a big old ensemble movie, but it was a huge hit. It was basically 2024's brightest spot for a long time before summer hit. With like Inside Out 2 and Despicable Me 4 and Deadpool and Wolverine. So yeah, Florence Pugh, she's been in some big movies, some very notable movies. So yeah, she's very recognizable. So we got two recognizable leads. That's a pro, obviously. Let's look at the director. Like, what is this John Crowley? What has he even made? Anything significant? Don't really look like it. This is Brooklyn. For some reason, I keep thinking Brooklyn and Spotlight are like the same movie. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I don't know. But this was like an Oscar movie, but like no one really cared that much about it. So yeah. I guess the director not really gonna. There's no reason to really comment on him. Another pro is reviews for this movie are very good. Has an 80% critic score, 94% audience score. So the people who were watching this movie, they really love it. So yeah, word of mouth is definitely a big old pro. Another pro is that this is from A24. I've talked about A24 ad nauseum on this channel. Yeah, they've basically become the biggest non-major studio out there. They have a wide variety of movies. They're mostly known for like their horror movies, but they've done dramas. They've done weird stuff like Everything Everywhere All at Once. Civil War was like their big bet this year, like the big risk. And it did pay off for them, becoming their second biggest hit of all time in the States. So yeah, so like, their track record is pretty good. They're not immune to failure. Remember last month's The Front Room? Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, but it's, I say they got some solid name value, so I'm gonna label that as a pro. Another pro, let's look at this. It had a limited release last weekend. 46K per theater average. That's pretty solid. Not amazing, but still all right. And yeah, I mean it's per solid per theater average, so that's a pro. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. So cons. There's a lot of movies that are out right now, all fighting for screens. Movies coming out this weekend. You got Venom 3 coming out next weekend. There's movies that are already out, like a Terrifier 3 and Wild Robot, still and Beetlejuice, and there's a lot of movies out there. So just, a large amount of movies, that's a con in a way. Because another con is that romantic movies are really like over the last decade they've taken a real hit at the box office. A lot of them just been relegated to like streaming. Although that's kind of changed recently because we had like Anyone But You be like a huge hit, like a huge sleeper hit last December. Granted, that's a rom-com. This is more serious in tone, but still, romance may be on its way back in theaters, but yeah, romance. The romance genre is taken like. I guess I can admit. Oh yeah, and it ends with it ends with Us. That was a massive hit back in August. So romance, like legit, is coming back. It's making a real comeback in theaters. So I guess that's kind of a pro, but still, romance in general, box office wise, it's kind of shaky because you wonder, oh, should I watch this on the big screen or should I watch this on streaming? And so you have that issue to deal with. So it's kind of a con, but it's a con that may disappear if things go okay, if things continue the way they're going. So yeah, so opening weekend, and I forgot to mention it's theater count. I guess theater count was like under 1,000 theaters, which I will check just to be sure, just to be certain. Let me see. Dun, 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 where is it? Where is, yeah, 955 theaters. That's kind of small, a little too small, and it kind of made me think, okay, this movie's not gonna do that great. But I've looked at its early numbers, and they're way better than I could have anticipated. So it's projected to hit about like 4 million this weekend in like less than 1,000 theaters, which I say is pretty darn good. So yeah, again, because low theater count and whatnot. So I mean that's better than like any of the adult movies that came out last week. Apprentice, Saturday Night Piece by Piece. That's better than all of them, and those had way more theaters. So yeah. um so it's projected to hit like 4-5 million. I guess I'll go with that. 4 to 5 million opening weekend. It's total. It could have really long legs. I can actually see this playing out for a long time. Um I don't know. 15 to 20 million. That's me being safe. 15 to 20 million. That's what I'm gonna stick with. And we're done with the weekend. Yay. Ugh. And I pressed the wrong thing. Um, yeah, this weekend we're done. Next weekend, Venom 3, The Last Dance. Oh, God. And then they got Conclave, which nobody's going to watch. Here's hoping. I'm crossing my fingers. These are the only two movies I talk about next week. I don't want to deal with no 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 movies next week. No, I'm tired of that. I really am. So, crossing my fingers that it sticks. I don't have to do two. Yeah, Venom 3, like, that will be interesting to discuss. So, yeah, but anywho, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill, you want to check out more videos like this, I got playlists on the homepage. All previous prediction videos I made this year, the past few years, you want to watch any of those videos, go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. September recap, I did that. October recap, that'll be before mid-November, so stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I went over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't for 250 episodes. So, you want to watch any of those episodes, want to binge them all, go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.